My friend, in today's video I'm going to be talking about how I got into American accent. So there are multiple things to talk about and how I get into it. So I'm gonna tell him to you my experience, that how I get into it, and there are a bunch of things to consider, and it would be very better opportunity for you if you're just looking for finding out any American accent or British accent, or if you are working on a pronunciation as well, so it is also going to be a better choice for you. So I'd always suggest you to get into American accent, because I'm finding that interesting, and of course even you could be finding it interesting. So of course you have to get into it, and there are a bunch of things to consider. And if you're thinking that choosing American accent is going to be a tough, or why will I choose American accent instead of Indian accent or any British accent, so it's totally up to you whether you want to choose that or not. But in my point of view, I'd always choose American accent. So here are a bunch of things to consider if you are choosing any sort of accent, if you want to speak with any accent. So here are bunch of things to consider. So each and every word can be different and can be pronounced in a different way in any language, so we have to be thinking about it. And so if you wanna pick British or American or Indian accent, so if you wanna pick Indian accent, of course if you are living in this particular country, so you don't need to put in the work, that much work, because you'll always be able to speak with the Indian accent. And if your pronunciation is right, then you'll have to face no problem of pronouncing the word and doing all of the other stuff. So you'll have a very better opportunity in order to work on your personality and do other stuff. So I'd always suggest you to work on your pronunciation first, and that should be your first priority. And there are other things that always should be done, like if you are saying better, in our accent, then it will be called better in American accent. So we have to just focus on, there are certain words that we have to take into consideration, and certain words that need to be pronounced correctly. And the mistake that we usually make is that we are just trying to listen each and every content from any accent, and this is where we often make mistake. So we gotta have to think about which accent we wanna pick and which sort of speaker we want to become, and that's where we have to be very aware of. We have to be aware of picking things. And if you wanna speak with American or British or Indian accent, so we have to watch those sort of content. We don't have to watch all the other accents video, and that's what we have to take into consideration while we are trying to speak English. And let's suppose if you want to speak with American accent, then you have to be very aware about which kind of content you are absorbing, which kind of content you are watching. And if you wanna, as I told you, that if you wanna speak with American accent, then you have to watch accent of Americans. And there are a lot of famous American YouTubers that you can follow. And even I'm trying to speak English with American accent, and I have worked a lot on my pronunciation so far, and there are still scope to work on it. So I'm not gonna say I'm a perfect in it, but I have worked a lot, and in future I'm gonna work even more. So that's what I'm going to suggest you, is that if you want to do the same thing, and if you are finding it interesting or talking American accent, and there are a bunch of other things to take into consideration, and if you are feeling bad about doing any other thing, and if you're not having that personality to develop your level of confidence, so of course you will have to and there's one more thing which is very positive about learning any language or speaking with any accent, that if you wanna speak with any accent, then you have to absorb a lot of content. If you're listening any song, if you're listening to any song, then you have to listen the song of that accent which you want to learn, and that's what is going to help you a lot achieve that level of fluency and talk in that particular language with that particular accent that you want to achieve, that you want to have. And that's what you have to think over and over again. And if you are thinking that I have to pick American accent, and on the other hand you are just absorbing the content from each accent, whatever accent you are getting, you're just trying to watch that, and you aren't aware of the content you are watching in the YouTube or from anywhere. So that's where you make mistake. And the point here I'm trying to make is that you have to be very specific about what you want to do and which sort of accent you want to have, or which sort of person you want to become, which sort of speaker you want to become. So that's what you have to be understanding, my friend, because you know it is one of the great thing. It can change your life forever. And if you are speaking with American accent or British accent or Indian accent, then it would be really interesting to see that are you working on your pronunciation or not, and whether or not you are working on your pronunciation. And it will be it will be a really great opportunity for you. And due to help of technology, due to help of a smartphone, there are a lot of sources that if I'll start talking about, it may take years maybe, or months, or few weeks in reality. So there are a bunch of sources from where we can observe things that we don't know, and there are a lot of things that we don't know, and that's why we are making the same mistake over and over and over again. So if we are aware of the mistake we are making, then we can start working on that mistake, and then we will then there will be a very less possibility to avoid that mistake if you are once we are aware of that mistake. So that's what we have to consider. And to develop our personality or to go into better direction, and let's suppose if you wanna speak with the American accent, in you wanna say that I'd like to drink a glass of water, then instead of saying glass and water, you can say glass and water. So they are just removing the T with the first T. Instead of saying water, they are gonna say water. So at the place of T, they are gonna use fast D. So it's not very tidy like duh. It's very slow and fast. Duh. It's very fast. So instead of saying water, they're gonna say water, daughter, better. And instead of saying opportunity, they're gonna say opportunity. Personality, instead of saying personality, they're gonna say personality. So at every T, they're gonna use fast D, and fast D is simply means that they're gonna pronounce fast D. Fast D means they're gonna pronounce D in a very fast way at the place of T. So, and this is what that we have to always think when we are trying to speak with American accent. And there are a bunch of other things that can also be done if you're just paying attention to that. So that's what we have to do. And if you're saying that I don't finding it interesting and I don't want to speak with the American accent, of course you can pick whatever accent you wanna speak with. So it's totally up to you whether you wanna speak with or not, but it would be really a better opportunity for you and it doesn't matter whatever whatever accent you wanna speak with. It's totally up to you, and in that particular space you have to be involved. And if you wanna speak with any accent, then you have to just absorb content related to that accent. You don't have to absorb any content. You wanna speak with the American accent, you don't have to watch accent of Britishers and Australians, so this sort of thing, because that is gonna overwhelm you, and that is going to mix your mind with so many things that you will not be able to understand, and that's where you will start making a lot of other mistakes. So that's why I don't want you to do that mistake, because I've done a lot of mistakes and I have done so many mistakes over and over again. And so with my experience, that's what I'm trying to tell you, that the thing that you don't know, you have to be very aware of the mistake that you are making, and the thing that you don't know, and due to that reason you are making the same mistake over and over and over again. So there are a lot of things, my friend, and so it doesn't matter whatever accent you wanna have, you have to be very specific, and you have to watch content in that particular accent, and the song that you are listening should also be in that particular accent. And so that's what you gotta have to consider. And the pronunciation of yours should be very specific, very precise in that particular accent, because in every accent pronunciation is a bit different, and that can be different to a great extent in some way. So you have to pay attention all of those things, and if you are making any choice to to learn all of those stuff. Of course you can easily learn that, because there are a lot of technologies, we have a lot of sources to learn, to get into any sort of information, and to find, in order to find out that information, it has become so easy for us to find out that information and use that. And if you're just trying to have that information in using that by the help of technology, then of course it will be very easy. And with the help in this particular era, we can do pretty much anything that we want, and within a very short period of time. It is not going to take that much time. You don't need to put that much into work, and don't suck your responsibility. This is the main thing I'd like you to know. So that's it for today, and if you're finding this video interesting or helpful, please share one of your friend, and let me know if you have any sort of question. Let me know in the comment below. I'd like to give the answer of your question that you are going to ask in the comment. Until then, take good care of yourself. Bye bye.